Hey gang, well it's E3 time again, which is why I'm hanging out in front of the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Hey Maggie, since this is our first issue packaged in with the official PlayStation magazine, you might want to take this opportunity to introduce yourself.
Oh, that's right! Hi gang, I'm Maggie, the host of the PlayStation Underground, and as my producer just mentioned, we've teamed up with the official PlayStation magazine so that every once in a while you'll get more than just your regular demo disc. You'll get a DVD, playable only on your PlayStation 2, packed with interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, memory card downloads, and more!
And one annoying, bubbly host.
To celebrate the transition, we thought we'd do something a little different for this issue. So our programmers are using a new 360-degree camera technology from a company called Roundup. From the time you enter the E3 hall until you reach the Sony booth, you can actually get a quick peek at the show floor. Here's how it works. Once I take off out of here, you can use the analog sticks to pan the camera left or right, so you can virtually look around.
I figured you'd sneak that word in there somewhere.
Once inside, the Sony booth will transform into a cool heads-up display where you can check out some of the games and videos in different areas.
And what about the stories?
I'm getting to that! When you're inside the booth, you can also check out the segments we shot while in Japan on the games Dark Cloud and Extermination.
I thought you went to the Tokyo Game Show.
How right you are! However, rather than showing you the games that will someday end up on the shelves here in the US, we thought we'd give you a look at some of the stranger titles.
And downloads?
They're in there. Just look for the icon on the menu display.
Well, it sounds to me like you've got this issue wrapped up, but aren't you afraid that the 360-degree camera will show your bad side?
What bad side?
On a peaceful, clear summer night, the village of Naroon is bathed under the illumination of two moons. Music floating from below, the villagers dance in celebration of the harvest festival. Suddenly, a dark cloud appears from nowhere, bringing with it an unimaginable fate. In one fell swoop, the village is gone. An ancient evil has been unleashed. This epic journey unfolds within the mysteries of myths and fairy tales. Will you be able to revive and restore this world? After the destruction of the Western continent, our main character, Toan, awakens to total darkness. An old man appears before him and introduces himself as the Spirit Emperor. The Spirit Emperor bestows a great responsibility on Toan, a young man with a pure heart. He must now rebuild the world that has crumbled before him.
Toan's village has been destroyed by these evil beings. To rebuild them, you must first collect the various parts of the towns that have been dispersed to different dungeons, and you put them back together. As you do so, the townspeople are released, and in return, reward you. The rewards lead you to your next adventure.
This world-building system, which the game's creators have named the Georama system, is perhaps the most innovative feature in Dark Cloud.
Being able to build your own world and interact with it in real time is extremely fun, and we wanted to combine this new feature with a very popular genre like an RPG so that we could build an incredibly deep and robust game for gamers everywhere. You begin building by using an overhead view to arrange the different elements in the village. You then can decide to immediately begin interacting with the environment and townspeople, or continue building the world. There's absolutely no delay. It occurs seamlessly and in real time.
Beyond this new Georama system, Dark Cloud delivers the depth and character development that RPG players demand. There are 6 playable characters available over the course of the game, and as your adventure continues, you will have to carefully manage their development. Various fairy tale themes have been incorporated throughout the game. It is an epic story of good versus evil, a fantasy world filled with genies, talking animals, and magic. And the creators of Dark Cloud claim that only the power of the PlayStation 2 could bring this sweeping story to life.
We had grand visions as we began the development of Dark Cloud. There were so many things that we were able to do that we couldn't do before. We've included a lot of realistic details that only the PS2 can allow. It's a dream come true.
With its deep and involving storyline, innovative design, and stunning graphics, Dark Cloud sets a new standard for role-playing games on the PlayStation 2.
This summer, you will go on a mission deep into the Antarctic where a terrible threat awaits. Fear and danger wait at every turn. A mission that you may not survive. This is Extermination. From Takuro Fujiwara and his team at Deep Space, Extermination will take you places you've never been before.
Extermination takes place at an underground research facility at the South Pole. Because of the extremely low temperatures, they're able to conduct experiments on dangerous viruses. Suddenly, a distress signal is sent from the base, and all communications are cut off.
When Dennis Riley and his partners in the Marine Special Forces Red Light Team arrive at the top-secret Antarctic base, they find that infected mutants have taken the base over and that they are hell-bent on infecting the members of Red Light with their deadly virus.
Well, there are creatures in the facility that have violently mutated. They spit a green substance, and the infection that they're carrying is spread through that substance. At first, when you become infected with the virus,
Take this!
you can cure yourself with medicine. You can recover.
The antibodies will temporarily ward off infection.
But if you get 100% infected, you can't cure yourself with the regular vaccine anymore. You need to find a treatment pod. When you're infected, your body gets eaten away from the inside. Your strength diminishes over time. When you've deteriorated completely, it's game over.
Deadly mutants, a lethal virus, danger at every turn. Sounds like a classic formula for an action movie, and that's exactly what Deep Space has aimed to create in Extermination. An action movie where the player is immersed into a world where his actions, his fear, and his wits are what control the outcome.
We all see tons of films, and they all affect us differently. They move us, or they excite us. So we wanted to make the action in games feel more like a film. We thought that the gameplay would have a better feel to it. You'd get the full flavor and power of it all. So to make this a reality, we developed the Region Action System. And I think that clearly distinguishes this game from other action games.
With the Region Action System, you control the character's movement with just one button. For example, when you need to jump, hitting the action button will make you jump. If you need to climb, just hit the same button. It makes the controls streamlined and easy to use.
From the player's point of view, you're closer to being able to react to the game on a split-second, gut basis.
Other than his teammates, Sergeant Riley has one crucial companion in the Antarctic cold, his advanced, highly customizable assault rifle, the SPR-4.
The player can rapidly customize the SPR-4. They can find attachments to make it into a flamethrower, a grenade launcher, or numerous other weapons.
From the executive producer of Biohazard and the creator of Mega Man, Extermination is the next step forward. You'll be amazed at the realism as weapons experts were called in to work on the project.
We worked with Mr. Ichiro Nagata. This man is knowledgeable in military affairs. He writes articles for Combat Magazine, so he's extremely famous in Japan. He not only supervised the parts of the game having to do with guns and other firearms, he gave us all sorts of advice, such as how the characters should handle the weapons, how they should look while they're firing. We even took some of the movement in the game from the demonstrations he gave us.
From the detailed weaponry to movie-quality cutscenes that lead you through the story to the explosive gameplay, Extermination is a summer blockbuster you won't want to miss.
is Bob Raffi. I'm the art director at Naughty Dog, and behind me is Jack and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. This game was created with the original team that did Crash Bandicoot, and it's our first project on the PlayStation 2. And this game is something that we're really excited about. It was in development for a year and a half. It's a non-linear gameplay, and you have various tasks to solve. And as you go forward, you see that there's a very involved story. We have in our world a lot of technology and mystery that has been left behind by the precursors who are somehow involved in the creation of this universe. Nobody really knows why it's there, but our main character, Jack, which is what the player controls, is special enough to be able to unlock these mysteries. It's got continuous worlds. There's 8 times of day change. There's no load time. At any given time, we're pushing anywhere from 20 to 50 times more polygons than you ever saw in Crash. And the sky's the limit with PlayStation 2. It really is unbelievable the amount of muscle we're getting out of the system. Jack and Daxter, Precursor Legacy. Look for it in stores this holiday season.
Richard Fogey. The game that we're looking at here is Kinetica. It's a fast action racing game. It takes place in the future. Focus on this new style of racing where the bikes have been combined with the humans in this sort of an armored suit where the wheels are attached to them so that they're right in there with the speed. And they can all do these high-flying, really acrobatic daredevil stunts as they're racing around on these futuristic tracks. There's multiplayer aspects so you can really get into the competitive nature of the game, really head-to-head on the racing. One of the key things for any racing game is keeping the frame rate really solid. When the final game ships, 60 across the board, which really makes for a smoother playing experience of the racing game. The player can really get much more control over their racer and much more control over what they're doing, and then the interaction is better. Kinetica, coming on the PlayStation 2, fall 2001, check it out.
And I'm the president and lead designer of Surreal Software, working on Draken 2, which you see behind me. It is a third-person action-adventure game where you play Rin, who's a heroic female character, who's very athletic. She can engage in hand-to-hand combat, summon spells using a magic system, and then the coolest part is that you can get on Aerok, who is your dragon counterpart, and fly around, take to the skies, and engage in intense aerial combat. He has a great flight dynamic. We spent a lot of time tuning the flight controls, so it's very fluid, and you really feel like you're in flight, but it's yet still very easy to control. One of the coolest things about the PlayStation 2 is it allows us to render these enormous landscapes. You begin the game after Draken 1 ended, where your brothers died. You're burying the villagers of your town who are laid to waste by hordes of evil creatures. You're supposed to summon the Dragon Mother, who is the final creature, and she'll help restore peace and tranquility to the rest of the world. Check out Draken Fall 2001.
U.S. Navy SEALs is a military action game that we're developing for the PlayStation 2. It's a team-based game. So in both single player and multiplayer, the object is to use your teammates in order to accomplish the mission objectives. Another one of the features that we're really excited about with SOCOM is the online capabilities. SOCOM is going to be one of the first games released this fall that supports the Sony analog broadband adapter. You'll be able to connect through the internet to our game servers and be able to join games with people who are already there. We were also able to work in collaboration with Naval Special Warfare to consult with them and capture what it's like to be a U.S. Navy SEAL. We were also able to go out to the ranges with them and shoot some of the guns. So when you play the game, you're really going to get a feel for the realism and authenticity. SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs will be available this fall exclusively for the PlayStation 2.
I'm the assistant producer on Okage. Okage is basically a role-playing game. Really the most impressive features of the game are the art style and the attack system. The art style is really unique. The characters look really expressive. It's kind of European and dark. And kind of it's characters are. Characters have really defined personalities, and their interactions with each other is another highlight of the game. Also, it's very different than most RPGs where one character attacks, then an enemy attacks. Basically, in this game, everyone attacks at the same time. So it looks like a big melee going on screen. It's really, really exciting, really different than most RPGs, and I think it'll really set it apart. Okage will be available late summer, early fall on the PlayStation 2.
Frequency is an online DJing game. It allows you to build a song with friends, an existing tune, and remix it together online. So you have an 8-sided tunnel. Each side of the tunnel represents a different instrument. And gems come down that side of the tunnel, and you got to match the beat of the gems and capture the music and create it as you go along. You'll be able to go online and meet up with friends and through various chat rooms and actually play the game with 4 other people. They can each take a side of the track or a different instrument and play together. You also have a great remixing function. You connect online via your PlayStation 2. You can actually take an existing song and remix it with your friends all at the same time. Frequency will be available coming this November on PlayStation 2.
I'm Ron Allen from Sony Computer Entertainment America. The game behind me is Eco, and it's a third-person action-adventure game set in a fantasy environment. It's an epic adventure of a boy born with horns who is imprisoned in a castle, and he escapes this imprisonment and tries to find his way out of the castle. On his journey, he finds the princess of the castle, and he's actually trying to lead the girl out. This game offers new gameplay, first time ever seen on actually any type of game. You're actually leading a girl all the way through the game. There's a lot of puzzle elements, a lot of action elements as well. There's fighting. We took advantage of the PlayStation 2 technology by using inverse schematics on the hand holding the arms. All the in-game cutscenes is all real time. There's no CG in this game at all. There's no load times. It's seamlessly together. It streams all the way through the game. For people who like adventure games, this is going to be a great title. Eco's coming out on PlayStation 2 this fall. Check it out.
Joel Jewett, Neversoft Entertainment, working on Tony Hawk 3 for the PlayStation 2. We're doing the online play with the game. We've all been playing it for 3 years every single day, and it's suddenly like a whole new thing because I've got your character on the entire screen, 3 other characters playing against you, and it's just like completely brings the whole thing to life again. For me, it's pretty awesome. One of the things that we have working in the online thing is if 2 skaters collide, whoever has the most momentum is the guy that remains standing. If you run into somebody else in the middle of a huge trick string, you can wipe their whole score pot clean, and you added that bonus into your combo, totally flushing out the create a skater thing. So there's tons of different parts. You can scale your character, change the colors, and basically doing everything we did in the previous games, but more, better, PS2 online. We're going to be there for Christmas, guys. Hope you like it.
Ben Brinkman with EA Sports Big. NBA Street is 3-on-3 basketball. The first 1 to 21 wins the game. But along the way, you're encouraged to do as many tricks as you can. It reflects the attitude of what's going on the street. The players are just over-the-top competitors, talk a little trash.
How are you gonna shoot them at this?
They make a great shot, they'll point their finger and let you know how great they are. You can goaltend, there's no fouls, so you're kind of encouraged to take the ball hard inside and dunk the ball or get as close as you can, because there could be a guy just sitting in front of the basket. You know, if you pull off a really good trick and he's not expecting it, he'll fall over and you'll have a clear line to the basket. So tricks are just as important as scoring baskets. They give you momentum to pull off what's called a game breaker. And the game breaker is essentially a tug of war. Say you make a 2-point basket, you get 2 points, your opponent loses 2 points. There's 6 unique players which we created, as well as 5 players from all 30 NBA teams. NBA Street, it's street basketball. It's coming at you on the PlayStation 2 late this June. Go look for it in the store near you.
Producer for Ace Combat 4. I think most users will find it easy to get into the game, unlike most sim games. So it's not as difficult as a sim, and yet the realism factor is very high. We've actually used satellite photos to enhance our textures, and we have consultants in the US Air Force as well as the Japanese Self-Defense Force. So overall, I think most players will find it easy to get into the game and yet enjoy the realism of it. Ace Combat 4 will be available on PlayStation 2 in fall of 2001.
Hi, I'm Todd Thorson, Director of Marketing from Capcom Entertainment. We are today looking at Devil May Cry, the brand new gothic thriller from Mikami, who's the creator of the Resident Evil series. Devil May Cry. It's really a legendary story of Dante, who is a 2,000-year-old part human, part demon. He battles against the devil and trying to fight for the forces of good to save mankind. He has the ability to transform into a demon state where he really can inflict massive attacks. What's great about the game is actually the fast action gameplay. So you're battling with a sword, you're battling with guns. You take a demon, slash him with a sword, at the same time throw him up there, blast him with your guns. The pace of the game is just absolutely amazing. Stunning graphics, it all comes together just for an incredible game experience. Devil May Cry is coming for PlayStation 2 November 14th, so look for it then. It's going to be a great release.
I'm Mike Schmidt. I'm a producer here at IDOS Interactive, and this is Hurdy-Gurdy, one of our PlayStation 2 titles. You play as the character Gurdy. You're a young apprentice herder, and you have to learn all sorts of different herding skills, and you have to herd all these different kinds of animals into their pen in order to compete in a tournament at the end of the game against the bad guy who's actually put a spell on your father, who's kind of the main herder of this magical island that you live on. Hurdy-Gurdy will be available for the PlayStation 2 this November.
Hi, my name is Sado. I'm a director of CGI visual of Silent Hill 2. It should be totally different from Silent Hill. This time, Silent Hill is no longer just a game. This is, I think, more than a novel and a movie. This time, the main hero came back to Silent Hill because his dead wife. He found lots of monsters. He's scared, but he decided to fight. Thanks to PS2, we can finally express the monster, flashlight and like a fog, so real. That makes that game so horrifying. That hardware, swept out all of the restrictions. We can finally made it perfect. Silent Hill 2 on PS2 will come out fall 2001.
Jason Enos from Konami. We're here at the Konami booth checking out Metal Gear Solid 2. This time around, Snake is back, and it's badder than ever. The graphics are insane. The realism is incredible. You can do so many more things with Snake now that you couldn't do with Metal Gear Solid 1. The PlayStation 2's hardware is so powerful that everyone is just awed by this game. The graphics in general are incredible. The level of detail on the environments and the characters are much stronger and more real. I mean, they just look so like human. This is clearly going to take the Metal Gear Solid experience to a whole new level. So gamers, be on the lookout for Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty on the PlayStation 2. This is going to be the hottest game this fall, no question.
Well, here we are at the Tokyo Game Show, E3's Japanese cousin. Now, we could have shown you all the big games that you'll see at E3, but we thought we'd take the proverbial road less traveled. It goes without saying that the Japanese are extremely friendly. They also have a great sense of fashion. Not to mention their own unique brand of superheroes.
こちらですね、キャプテンラブという、
This is the Captain Love game. It isn't just an adventure game, it's a dramatic hero adventure game. You have all these conversations with the heroine and other characters. You use that to progress in the game. So it's not your typical hero thing. You battle using conversation, and there isn't a single scene of violence.
No violence? Well, here's a game that involves a flamethrower. Sort of.
焼肉奉行っていうタイトルで作ってるゲームですね。
We've made a game here with the title Judge Grilled Meat. The concept of the game is that you grill meat and serve it to your guests. The various preferences of the guests are set like so. For example, if one doesn't like carrots, you don't serve that guest carrots, and you serve all the guests with grilled meat when it's properly done. That raises their degree of satisfaction, and you complete the game.
Well, after indulging in that game, you'll probably need this one.
This is a diet simulation machine. You run by operating the special controller and the calories appear here. So in this game, one candy is 1 kilocalorie, and you can see how many kilocalories you've used up over the distance you've run so far.
Well, cool and unusual controllers were all over the show, but the most breathtaking peripheral had to be this one.
This is one of our mini games. As you're exhaling, vocalizing into this mic, you're digging deeper and deeper. If you don't make it to the catch your breath level before you run out of air in your lungs, it's game over. We have 15 types of mini games like this. You use the mic so anybody can play easily. We hope you like it.
As the day headed into the home stretch, we stopped by this booth to check out a horse racing game.
Gallop Racer isn't like conventional horse racing games, where you raise racing horses. Here the idea is to get the sensation of actually being a jockey. We've called on the power of the PS2 hardware for the graphics, which have become far more realistic. I think they're just about to go into the final corner. At the final corner, you've got to use your whip and make that final spurt. Now they're on the final stretch. They're using their whips, and now they're crossing the finish line. If you do it right, you can take first place.
All in all, these games seem pretty cool. Just think twice before you give that diet game to your girlfriend.
While we were at this year's E3 show in Los Angeles, we got a chance to check out the future of the PlayStation 2. Sony announced some cool new technology that will expand its power. Soon you'll be able to connect your PlayStation 2 to the internet, surf the web, and play online against opponents all around the world. And the first of a flurry of announcements, Sony Computer Entertainment and America Online teamed up to bring internet access to the PlayStation 2.
For the PlayStation Developers Kit, we're going to create tools so that game developers, so PlayStation 2 developers, can create games that involve dialing into the internet, that use AOL email, that use AOL instant messaging, and chat. In addition, what you have there is you have the AOL service. You have the AOL welcome screen, all the AOL content, your buddy list, your instant messaging. It is AOL, all running off of PlayStation.
So how will you connect to the internet? By using the new PlayStation 2 network adapter, which will be available this November. The adapter will include both a V90 modem for people who use a dial-up connection, as well as an Ethernet port for users with broadband connections like cable or DSL. This network adapter will have a suggested retail price of $39.95, a small price to pay for all the features it will make possible. Along with regular internet access and online gameplay, Sony also announced partnerships with Real Networks and Macromedia that will let PlayStation 2 owners access streaming media in the Real Player and Flash format.
You have the ability to bring dynamic content from the internet and from various networks into games that are typically located just on static types of media.
Clearly, bringing the internet to the PlayStation 2 will open up a world of possibilities, and in the next few years, those possibilities will expand even more. For instance, we saw a demonstration of high-definition video playback on a PlayStation 2, and it was incredible. The PlayStation 2 is playing back HDTV quality video in real time from a hard drive. So how will you be able to get HDTV movies on your PlayStation 2 hard drive? Simply download it from the network.
In the future, if we get a high bandwidth of the networking system, so instead of the playback from the hard drive, so you can see such kind of movie from the network in real time.
Wow, streaming HDTV video. It's going to be a whole new game for PlayStation 2 owners with the system's new online capabilities. Stay tuned for more details. The amazing online future of the PlayStation 2 will start this November.